This is Toyin Umesiri. This is good afternoon. It's been a long day today. I needed to have done this early in the morning, but I had a busy day. And if not for my commitment to come every day today, I almost wasn't going to do this. So how are you? Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where you're at. Hello, P3 Collections, Cosby Mike, thank you for joining. Today, two things. Yesterday I said I was going to talk about AGOA, so that's one. And then the second thing I want to cover is our newsletter. The second newsletter of the week just went out, and I have my computer here, so it's titled "We are Accelerating Trade with Africa Engagement Through Our Digital Platform." So remind me to cover that when I finish talking about AGOA. So, story. Story. Once upon a time, in the year 2000, President Clinton signed into U.S. law AGOA, the African Growth and Opportunity Act. 20 years ago. Okay? And the story continues. AGOA expired or almost expired, and then President Bush expanded and extended it. And then story. It continues. It almost expired. And then President Obama extended it again till 2025. Year 2025. It's expiring, so the countdown has started. 5 years to go at AGOA. So you might ask, what is AGOA? It is a U.S. policy right now on paper that makes sure about 6,000 products, okay, coming in from sub-Saharan countries that is in good standing. There's a definition for good standing, to bring in products from Africa into the U.S. market free of duty and without quota. Okay, free of duty, like zero tariff, and without quota. For 20 years, it's been on the books. And people are not using it. The rest of the world, if you need to import something into US, you will pay 15, 20, 25%, depending on what tariff line you're bringing. But for sub-Saharan African countries, so things like textile, meat, wood, their commodity items, their extractive resources, oil is one of those. You can import it into the US, and the US government is saying we will waive tariff from you for you. But here's what's going on. Number one, people don't know about it. Buyers don't know. Diaspora don't know. But in DC, in the political space, they're like, yes, AGOA, Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. Hey, TI, good to see you. You know, they're like, AGOA, African Growth and Opportunity Act. We've given it to Africa. And then Africans are like, we're still trying to send things. Some of it are rejected. We don't know what your rules are. Because what people don't realize is, even though you might have tariff barriers removed, meaning no tariff, there are still non-tariff barriers like standards, all of those things that you still have to overcome. So all of a sudden, 20 years after, I mean, this is like literally open market, open door for textile, for different things to come into the US market. And the reason they did AGOA was because they already know most African countries cannot compete when it comes to price with China and other parts of the world, right? So if China is bringing something in and African people are bringing something in, if it's the same thing, China is going to beat you because, they can produce volume, they can price it down. Buyers would rather pay less money than pay what is more expensive, because the cost of doing business in Africa is still very, very high in certain places, right? So to manufacture in Africa, those things right now might be more expensive. And what also happens is, I've done videos. You need to join our network, like I've said. If you're on the network and you have the premium access, you'll be accessing a lot of content. We've done a video around tariff and non-tariff barriers, because a lot of times people don't realize what it takes when you're crossing borders, right? When your goods are crossing borders, you talk about tariff and non-tariff barriers. So tariff barriers has been removed. up until 2025. But if other regions are bringing those same things, they'll charge them extra 15%, extra 25, 30, depending on what the tariff lines vary by product and by the country and the region that product is coming from. Because when they have bilateral trades between regions, it's also, so many things factor in. And that's why we tell people, you have to be educated. You have to educate yourself. Just going blindly around the world, we don't know what's going on. Things are happening and people are like, oh, this, people are just like, this is the era where you have to empower yourself with knowledge. Like, this is not the time to be saying, oh, this is the time, especially if you're an African or a diaspora, right? If you're not on the continent, but you have African heritage, including African Americans, right? This is the time. Don't believe everything you're seeing on the news about Africa, right? The war, famine, disease, everything. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but imagine here in Chicago, if all you're seeing about Chicago is the crime and everything that is happening in the city. But yet, Chicago is an international city, the third largest city in the US. And they attracted, I think, the highest FDI, foreign direct investment, in 2019. So business is happening in Chicago no matter what the image is. And the same is true for Africa, is that things are happening no matter what you're seeing. But if you sit down and you are buying everything hook, line, and sinker, and you say, oh, what a pity, they are hungry people, things are bad, and that's all you're thinking about Africa. This is the time to wake up. This is the time to wake up. That's just one side of the coin. They're not telling you about the stock market. They're not talking about real estate industry. They're not telling you about consulting, dynamic things happening that you could be engaging with. Anyway, so AGOA is one of those things where people have not educated themselves on. And the funny thing is that if you're not informed and you bring in products, you will pay tariff. So the way it is when you show up and you want to clear, you as the importer, you have to declare that you want to use AGOA. If you don't mention AGOA, nobody's going to tell you. They'll just say, give us your tariff. So for 20 years, people have been bringing things that are eligible, but because they're not using the right code, they are paying more. Ignorance is expensive. In the world of global, you will pay more and nobody will tell you. And you will pay more over and they will be collecting your tax. They will collect it until you wake up one day and say, wait a minute, don't charge me anymore. So it's really fascinating because I have made research. I've gone to people that have stores, African stores. I'm like, AGOA, do you use AGOA? They'll be like, what is that? I'm like, for real? And even to make it even more interesting, even border here in Chicago, when I first moved, I went to the Homeland Security people and I was like, I want to use AGOA. They were like, they've never heard about it before. I said, what? They were like calling each other to the window. Oh, have you ever heard about this? Lady said AGOA. I had to bring the website and say, this is your government's policy that has been on the books for 20 years. And they are happy in DC saying, oh, and they do, every year they do AGOA forum. So political leaders from the Senate and African political leaders, they meet every year. They'll be like, oh, AGOA, how is it performing? Why is it not performing? What could you do to improve it? And they're just, political people are talking to each other. Meanwhile, this is a trade policy that buyers and sellers, meaning private sector, the only people to use AGOA are private sector, buyers and sellers, doing deals, buying from each other, buying more from Africa, free of duty. Like Africans could say, hey, no tariff. It's why don't you buy from us? So, this is something that regular people should be using. If you're bringing ashoke, if you're bringing folklore items, if you're bringing meat, if you're bringing wood, if you're bringing all these things and importing them, you should be declaring. And that's why we do the training. So if you're a member of the Trade with Africa Network, there's actually a training called AGOA Export Development Training, because that is one tool that right there, just that line, AGOA, African Growth and Opportunity Act. Go and research it. Right there is an opportunity that people are not using for 20 years. I mean, it's so annoying, borderline annoying. And why? And that is one of the things that I'm saying, that people's approach towards knowledge is not the best. especially diaspora or Africans. Like we think the knowledge that will transform your life is expensive to acquire. The ones you're seeing out there, the common knowledge, it's not moving you anywhere. It's not changing things. It's not shifting anything. And that's why I'm trying to say, this is the time for people to research, train, invest in coaching. Because sometimes some of the things people like me have acquired and we learn and we're trying to teach people, it might take you years. In fact, not it might, it will. It's taking us years to get here. And we are packaging that knowledge and we are delivering it and saying, learn. I mean, today I was on a call and someone was like, oh, yes, someone sent me your video and I saw it was 1 hour. Oh, and I wasn't able to watch it. I said, no. Actually, it wasn't 1 hour. It was 5 hours. The Nigerian Investment Conference is a 5-hour engagement. You say, yes? I say, in fact, and if you finish that and you are still more hungry, go to our YouTube. You see hundreds of hours of knowledge right there. And it was like, oh, I'm like, why happy? Even if is 1 hour going to change your life? But people have been telling me there are some things we've posted and another person said, just in 5 minutes or 7 minutes, I've really gained. And it's true, these things are life-changing. But I tell people, be more hungry. And now, my commitment is to the Trade with Africa Network that I'm immersed in, I'm teaching, I'm doing trade facilitation masterclasses, all of those things, because I'm telling you, we're growing an elite membership base of people that would be closing deals. That's really the focus. So let me switch to today's newsletter. It's been a long day for me. This is the end. I'm wrapping up the day and I was like, gosh, I have to do this. I committed to doing this. Today was one of those days I wish I could just scale. But anyway, this is part of commitment. When we say we're going to show up, we'll show up here. So sent out the newsletter and it's titled, we are accelerating trade with Africa engagement through our digital platforms. That's the header line. And this went out to our base. It's thousands of people subscribe to our newsletter. And I think I've shared it. We send newsletters out twice a week with updates. So yeah, I included a picture of one of our past Trade with Africa business summit. So basically, I just want to run through like a quick summary of what this was about. It started with me just saying, for years now, I've been holding the Trade with Africa Business Summit, which is now in its 4th year. Bringing together trade experts. I'm looking here because my computer is here. Bringing together trade experts, investors, government representatives, diaspora, innovators, different sectors, agriculture, manufacturing. Every time people just say something, I was like, yeah, we've got a video for that. Like, I saw the Nigerian government, they're doing something on manufacturing. I sent the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council, I sent one of their directors. I said, hey, I see you guys are doing manufacturing. Excuse me. Here's a video. You need to go and watch this one. This one is what we've already done. Like, you people need to be pulling us in when you're doing all of these things. Like, this is a presentation by a former employee of Chrysler and all of those things at my event, talking about automotive. The person has written a book. So you're still trying to figure this out. You need to be calling us and saying, we should be bringing you all the resources. So I sent it to me. I was like, oh, really? Oh, I'm like, yes, we are here. We've been doing all this work, but it's like, anyway. So that's something we've been doing for a while. And then I said, I'm happy. Okay, welcome everyone. I see more people joining. Hello, PM3 Smiles. I just want to say, I see you. MOS Queens. I hope I'm saying it well. AA Mali Official. Good to see you. Diva _ Quishos. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you all for joining. So I was just trying to summarize our newsletter we sent out today. So yeah, and I said I'm happy to share more with you today on how our digital platform, the Trade with Africa Network, is helping our members to achieve their trade and investment goals. So there are different layers or membership based on the platform. Right now it's subscription based, but people can just come in, take a class and then leave. But the people that subscribe for membership, it's every month, and every month we're bringing values to them. So here I just listed out 4 things we're doing for our members. The number 1 thing is B2B, B2G network. Now, for those people that are involved in global trade or regional trade, I mean, the number 1 thing that they know is most important is, where do you find stakeholders that could buy from you, that you could buy from, or you could engage with or partner with? Really, that's usually the number 1 thing. It's like you're sitting in one country and you want to engage in cross-border transaction. You need an agent, a trusted partner on that other side that will do the legwork for you. Or you want to export, you want to sell, okay? You want to sell. You need a buyer. And the buyer is not in your country. The buyer is somewhere else. Where do you find them? How do you promote your things, right? And the other thing is also true. And I know people have been asking me, so we're working on that, our lipstick brand and our stuff. People have been asking me how they can become exclusive distributors. We're putting that program together. So just bear with me a little bit. So if you would like to become a distributor and all of those things in country, because what we're structuring would be obviously commission and all of those things, which is what we tell people in global trade as well. You may not even be the seller. You could just be a distributor where somebody else has created an amazing product or provides, or you could be an agent where they provide services, and then you sign up rights, or you do a deal that you could be their representative. I mean, there's a lot of paperwork involved, right? So you're not infringing of people's trademark and all of those things. You're abiding by their rules. But that's what we're talking about, is creating opportunities for yourself. Again, today, who was that person? Okay, the honorary consul, I won't mention what country, called me. We had a conversation today, and he was like, dun, 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 dun. I was like, he said, what's the exchange rate of Naira to US today? He's here in the US. I said, don't even mention, it's 500, about $500, 500 Naira to $1. He said, what? Back then, it used to be 100 and this. I was like, it depends on what side of the coin you're on. If you are in Nigeria and you are earning dollar, you will be dancing to the bank, right? If you were doing work and you were involved in global trade and people were paying you in dollar, you're doing services, you're programming, you're doing something for somebody, they pay you $1 before in January is a different price. They pay you the same dollar today, you are like laughing because your salary, it just doubled overnight. But if you're on the other side of the coin and all you're doing is importing, you will be crying right now because the cost of buying that dollar has gone up. So I always tell people, export, baby. Export, export, export your services, export your goods. Export is the engine of economic development. Not just even when people say economic development, they think, oh, the goal is too big. Okay, let me say individual individual development. Let me even put it like personal development, is that you can provide a service to people, you can reach people, you can reach people not just in your country, but different parts of the world. Some people are doing writing right now. They're doing, in fact, I don't know if one of our, I work with different people all over they're doing work for me. The people are doing, the trade, the AFCFTA roundtable, we work with journalists in different parts, and they are earning. Anybody, yes, please, thank you for that love. If you love what I'm saying, please, more. I just saw that art shape go up. I was like, yes, please, keep it coming. So, right now, wherever you're at, whether you're on ground, on the continent, or you're here in the US, or you're in Canada, wherever, start thinking of how you can close the gap. Look for opportunities where people, when you send money back home, and instead of sending money, tell them to go and buy something, you will buy it from them. Let them start doing business, right? So that at least your money is going to advancing trade, right? Versus just we have to start thinking differently. Again, that's all I'm trying to say. So number 1, B2B, B2G network. The first thing is people need to find people, and that's one of the reasons we used to do our platforms, our Trade with Africa Summit and everything. And people fly in, they will do business, they will connect, exchange business cards, and they were like, okay, we meet the right people here, but then how do we stay connected over time? because we're all going back. But now, with the Trade with Africa network, you are connected 247 on the platform. You can DM them anytime. And people did, things are happening. I know Abata, immediately she joined. It's been maybe a week and a few days that she's joined, and things have changed for her. Immediately she joined. I connected her with another member. I said, hey, watch out for this person. She just joined, show her the ropes, and immediately that person was like, oh, there's another member here. There's another member, they're all now talking to each other without me. So the most important thing is your network. Are you immersed in the network that advances trade? Are you connecting with the right type of people that you can do business with potentially? And I tell people, do your due diligence, right? So even when I'm saying come on the network, if you're doing business anywhere in the world, you have to do due diligence, right? But again, we are fast-tracking, we are moving you closer. I'm seeing okay, good. So you can see me now. So basically, it's an advancement. It's a B2B, so business to business, business to government. There are government officials there as well. But I tell people, don't just reach out randomly. You've got to make sure your pitch is perfect or near perfect. Excuse me. The second thing we're doing is providing timely information. Over the years, we've brought in government agencies. We know that policy management, knowing policies, being educated about the latest, greatest, like export documentation, all of those things, right? AGOA, like I just shared. Being informed about it, having timely information about trade policies is a must. It's a must. You have to stay connected. And that's why we did the AFCFTA roundtable. And we've brought in like Exim Bank, because you don't even know what resources are available to you to help you grow trade. Because trade is not just something one person does. It's economic development. It's robust. So we've brought in Exim Bank, US Export-Import Bank. They've shared, this is what we do. If you want to export from here to Africa, we provide you this. We have over an hour of content about like we had several, so at least 2 leaders from Washington, D.C. headquarters of U.S. Export-Import Bank. They came, they flew into Chicago. Then they also brought in at least 3 other people, one of their clients that have used their services in Africa. They brought him in and said, okay, don't just listen to us, government. This is one of our clients we've helped to grow his business in Africa. Let him open his mouth and share with you. And we have that on video. We share these things and people still, they don't want to educate themselves. So we bring those kind of information. We've brought in USTDA, United States Trade Development, I think, right? Where they even talk about how they fund, energy projects and different things like that. We've brought in Department of Commerce, the African Export-Import Bank, World Trade Organization. We bring, World Bank, African Union. We bring all these people. The reason we bring them is because what you don't know is affecting you. You don't just know. So we invest a lot in educating people and immersing them to say, hey, if you're part of the conversations I'm part of, you'll be doing things differently. So on our platform now, we're taking that to the next level, right? So next year, we're actually every month, there's some work I'm doing behind the scenes, some things I cannot share right now, where we're lining up every single month on our platform. Like our platform, your mind should be like blown. You should be the most, aware, up-to-date person when it comes to trade with Africa. So we're lining up engagements, China, Africa, Chicago, Africa. We're lining up engagement every single month. We're lining up training. So it's going to be 3 things. Training every month. We're working on the SME, like I shared yesterday, and you can see on our profile, SME training, how to build a globally relevant project, business and brand. So we're lining up every month. You have training. Every month you have an event. Every month we'll have a community chat. Every month we're going to, because we're staying with you, things are different now for us. We're saying it's not enough to just be talking to people are talking and not doing anything. Like they're just moving around in circles. Like, oh, yes, I'm going to do this. 2 years has gone. They've not, they've not really done. So we're saying that my team wants to now be more hands-on, which requires more work. But if that's what it takes, then that's it, right? It's that we're going to be supporting people. We only want serious-minded people that are committed in that group. Because when you come in and you pay cha-ching to come in, you will want to get the value. It's value for value, right? In terms of when you show up, then you would take advantage of everything there. You will show up differently. You will take advantage, and even you, right? Because you've invested in yourself, you'll be more inclined to tap into those opportunities and to take the training is there, the network information, latest, greatest. So watch out for members. We're lining up every month, executive speaker series, government official, all of those things that will be coming in every month because information, latest, Ghana. Do you know that Ghana, like we had the advisor to the president and vice president show up and speak at our events in August. Was it August, I believe? Yeah. And part of the outcomes is that you don't really know what's going on ground and the opportunities the government have created for diaspora. If you come back, one province, one factory, one dam, and the government is saying, if you bring your money, we will match you up. We will give you something. We will give you concession. We will give you this. And people still lack of knowledge. And the Ghana diaspora, they are not listening. They are not seeing all of these things. And I'm saying, I have documentation of all these things. Yeah, I have documentation. If you are interested, join the network. We will give you there. So anyway, timely information is important. That's number 2. Number 3, access to business. So business, export, trade, and investment training. Those 4 things are so important because I try to break them down. You cannot go regional if you don't know what the underlying principles of business, right? If you've not done something locally, how can you then go international? Because that's even more complex, right? Global trade is more complex. So we teach business development. Like if you sign up today, you immediately have access to the business development classes. We teach export development because it's about growing export. How do you do your price negotiation, all of those things? Trade, buying, selling. The other thing people don't know is you have the buyer, you have the seller. But sometimes an opportunity for you could be to be a facilitator. You are not the buyer, you're neither the buyer nor the seller, but you are bringing those 2 people together and you're getting a commission from the deal. People don't know that. Then investment trade. These are things happening that we're now saying, hey, this is the time for people to position themselves in. So training right there, ready. You sign up now, you start accessing those training. And these are things executive level, worth thousands of dollars. But again, we want to mobilize people that are well informed and ready to go. And then coaching. Coaching in the sense of I check on my, if you tell me you are doing ABC, I will check on you. And now I'm pulling teams together to make sure we're supporting each other. This is a group of people rooting for you that want you to be successful. That you can't get anywhere else. Like we're committed to your success, pretty much, members of our network. And then what we included was a video that just shows a sneak peek. And on Instagram, the last post from last night is actually also a video, because a lot of times we're trying to explain this thing, but people cannot visually understand what it is that is going on already. So if you're not in there, you don't know what's going on. And even those that are in there, if you're on that network, you are not maximizing it. Tama is not on. I wish I can be pulling them even to join us here so that we can be engaging live as well. So more opportunities are in there. People need to know how to pitch. People need to know how to engage. But I know people are DMing as well and then accessing the training, because the Trade and Investment Facilitation Masterclass is also showing people the landscape, what the opportunities are. And they were telling people, these are the things you can do, these are the things you can do. Because people don't really know. People, even when they say trade, oh, it sounds interesting. Is it for me? Well, why don't you start with taking the training, seeing the landscape, and then you decide, oh, I'm a lawyer, where do I want to play? I'm an accountant, where do I want to play? All of those things. Because when it comes to trade, you're going to grow so many verticals. Shipping companies would emerge. Transportation companies will emerge. Branding, marketing, all of those things. So yeah, that's it. And then, we just sent that out today. Like I said before, when I started this Instagram is the last to see what we're doing. So follow me on LinkedIn. Follow us. Join our network. Subscribe. And for those that subscribe, they are really people. The people who benefit the most are people that are building a business or trying to facilitate a transaction, or they have roles and responsibility that advances AFCFTA, African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Because everything I explained about AGOA is even true for AFCFTA. So yes, the governments, they've signed it January 1, it's going into effect. Yes, yay. The private sector is now the next thing, which is the SME training that we are bringing forward. So any questions? If not, I'm going to just wrap up here and I'll say, yay, good job, Toyin. You showed up. I'm giving myself good job because I know what it took to show up today. So tomorrow is our last day. I had committed, I said Monday through Friday of this week, I'll show up every day on Instagram. I'll get more. I wanted to just get a feel for what's going on Instagram with all the knowledge and everything that we've been sharing on different platforms, hundreds of hours of so much work. So join our network. It's nazaru.trade, www.nazaru.trade. If you're looking to immerse yourself, grow. And what we also acknowledge is that people are at different stages of that growth process. Some people have done trade before. Some people are just starting. Some people are just now starting to awaken to it. But what I tell you is, if you're just starting, this is the time you have to go back to school, because what you're doing in your local market to win regionally and globally, it operates differently when you're trying to cross border, when you're trying to engage in cross border transaction. That's what we do on the Trade with Africa network, Nazaru's Trade with Africa network. We do other things, but basically, going forward, that's going to be the hub for our trade engagements, our training, our coaching, our events, all those things. And yeah, it's happening, it's growing. So check out the video I posted. And then if you have any questions, drop it. Tomorrow is the last day for the week that I committed to. I'm constantly now, I'm actually thinking, okay, what next for Instagram? What does Instagram want? maybe I might go back to once a week or something like that. Because I'm just also looking at my calendar and how to make this a consistent engagement. And it also has to do with how hungry people are at. Are you building a business? Do you have a brand? Do you want to export? Do you want buyers? I need to know what type of knowledge people are looking for. But anyway, I see Tunsla Cuisine, thank you for joining. Zota Zungu, Ife Patrick, thank you for joining. Encourage True Grace Arise, thank you for joining. Queen Akuta, thank you. A.A. Malibu said thank you again. So yes, please, what questions do you have? You have me now. People are paying a lot to get me. I'm kidding, but yes, what questions do you have? No questions. Is this the first time you're being made aware about AGOA? Yes, say yes or no. Have you ever heard about AGOA before? Yes, no. Please, can you type yes or no? So AGOA, A-G-O-A, stands for African Growth and Opportunity Act. Okay? So, like I said, it's a U.S. policy right now. Just like NAFTA used to be North America, right? It's changed its name right now, but it's the same. It says, U.S. represents like a free open market to about 6,000 products coming from Africa. Textile, yes. Meat products is there. Wood is there. It's 6,000 of so many things that people could actually import into the U.S. market free of duty, zero tariff, and you can bring as many of it as possible, like container. So we're supporting people. We have training on it. If you want to learn more, we have training on our platform as well. As members, those are trainings you have access to. So thank you so much. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I'll be like, yes, I did it. I showed up every day, like I said, just for this week. So Instagram, thank you. It's been a pleasure getting to know you more. This is the first time I'll be doing like live consistently for, so the more I do it, the more I'm getting better at it. So thank you so much. Bye. This is Toyin Umesiri as well, and I'm the CEO of Nazaru, the founder of Trade with Africa Business Summit, the founder of Trade with Africa Network, creative director of Omoba Beauty. Please go check it out. We have amazing, gorgeous products available on Amazon. But our website is www.omoba, that's OMOOBA beauty.com. Thank you. And we've just upgraded our packaging as well. These are the things we tell people. You just have to keep improving, improving. And I know people are requesting to become distributor. So please DM me if you want to be online and you want us to be on the list as one of those people interested to become our exclusive distributor in country. We're working those programs out because we know it's also an empowerment opportunity for women, to be able to get their income, with support from, a leading brand that can help them, that can educate them. So it's almost like we're going to design it almost like an Avon type thing where we're empowering women, with amazing, I'm wearing one of those amazing products, high quality, right? We're competing, we're right there. We wouldn't produce anything less, okay? And that's what we're also helping people to do. Okay, bye again. Bye.